it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 86 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Smart, and in brackets, Ass Yin, because she's about to be a smart ass, but she's also smart. Just be quiet, MLB. Read the chapter already. Okay. All right, I'm coming. Yin, Sero said with sadness and worry evident in his voice. We need to find her. I don't know if Aizawa managed to track her down. Mr. Mienai just blinked at him. I blocked all of your phones, he then said bluntly. Sorry, what? Sero asked with confusion. Now it was his turn to look utterly befuddled. Yes, Mr. Mienai said sternly. I'm questioning you all separately. Questioning? Sero asked, completely bemused and discombobulated. Questioning on what? If you're conspiring against the CIA, there will be hell to pay, Mr. Mienai said darkly. You have to tell me the truth or else I can have you all thrown in jail. That's it. End of story. You rot in there for the rest of your days. Sero was gobsmacked. His mind was wholly focused on you. What was this madman on about? What? He asked, utterly shocked. Last night, Mr. Mienai said, staring Sero down as if peering directly into his soul. Tell me exactly what happened with Hobi's earpiece. Sero blinked at him. He was still trying to work out what was going on here. Were you okay? Was Mr. Mienai somehow involved in your disappearance? What did this have to do with you? Why was he suddenly being interrogated about an earpiece? Answer the question, Mr. Mienai barked in Sero's face. Sero flinched, but he still had no idea what was going on. Did Hobi take out the earpiece? Mr. Mienai barked. What? When? I don't know what you... Sero went to reply. Last night! Mr. Mienai shouted. Sir? Someone called as they suddenly flung the door open to the room. She's here. Put her in the other room, Mr. Mienai ordered. I'll be over there in a second. Who's here? Is it Yin? Is she okay? Where was she? Sero asked, locking onto the only important thing to him. He went to turn his head over to the person at the door, but then was grabbed roughly and shoved into the chair that was in the room. Don't move, Mr. Mienai growled before stalking to the door. The room is monitored and there are guards outside. You try anything and it's over for you. Understand? Sero still didn't know what was going on, but just nodded and stayed still anyway, watching as a very angry Mr. Mienai exited the room, his angry footsteps echoing as he disappeared down the hall. What is going on? Sero wondered with all the utmost confusion. I don't get it at all. That morning you had gotten up, headed downstairs, gotten breakfast, and then grabbed your things together and headed out the door to the waiting CIA car. Hey, you grunted to the driver as you had gotten in, and he nodded and then pulled away from the curb once he'd buckled up. As the car drove you into town, you looked at your phone. It's weird that Hunter hasn't messaged me at all. You wondered, unlocking your phone and sending him a teasing message to see if that would elicit a response from him. Hey, boyfriend, you messaged. You gonna pin me to the inside of the elevator again today or what? You hit send and smirked as you waited. You waited to see if the ticks would appear in the bottom right-hand corner of the message box, but they didn't, and you scowled and then frowned when the message just sat there undelivered. Are these even going through? You wondered, sending him another message only to see that it remained undelivered again. What is going on? You asked yourself, switching to the phone app and dialing his number and then pressing the phone to your ear. The line stated that he was unreachable due to having his phone out of service or switched off, and you smelled a rat immediately. What is going on? You wondered. You continued to ponder as you were driven into the city, and then you got out of the car at the hotel and walked to the doors. As you stepped in, you felt the atmosphere was different, and noted a lot more security guards standing around. As you walked in further, you noted that they were all looking at you. Why do I feel like I'm the target? You thought, as two guards whispered to each other and then started walking towards you. You quickly looked down and switched your phone to the call app, ringing your dad on speed dial and putting your phone behind your back so that you hoped he could hear what was going on and note something was wrong and send for help. You now had suspicions that something was up since you couldn't contact Sero and just immediately assumed that you wouldn't be able to contact Aizawa either, so hoped that the call would still go through to your dad and he could send for help. Why are you guys looking at me like that? You asked the guards loudly. Mr. Mienai wants you to wait in the room over here. He needs to talk to you, one of the guards said. I don't like the sound of that, you said loudly, then immediately spoke again when one of the guards grabbed you by the arm. Don't touch me, let go, you said loudly, which made the guard a little frustrated. Keep your voice down, he said, and you decided to make a last-ditch effort to make yourself known and call out loudly. Help! You shouted, then hung up your phone and pushed it into the back of your pants. Shut it! The other guard said, before clamping a hand over your mouth, and the guards both hustled you into the side room. I could easily quirk these guys out, but I know I shouldn't. Where's Hunter? What's going on? You wondered, as you were placed in the room roughly and the door slammed closed behind you. I hope Dad got my call. You pulled your phone from the back of your pants and looked down at it and then swiped the app open to see if your call had connected. It stated that you had called your dad and it had been for 20 seconds. Yeah, that's long enough. I hope he heard me, you thought, as you put your phone back in your pocket. No sooner had you put it away, the door flung open and in stormed Mr. Mienai. Sit down, he barked at you. Where am I supposed to sit? You sassed him, looking around. On the floor? I don't care, he snapped. Tell me what happened last night with the earpiece. Did you not have your listening ears on when I told you last night? You sassed him, feeling more powerful the more you sensed that he was about to lose control. I'm not beyond physical subduction, Mr. Mienai growled. And I'm not beyond using my quirk, he replied, crossing your arms across your chest. Take one more step, and I'll use it. You'll be straight off to jail then, Mr. Mienai threatened. Does that look like it phases me? You retorted. At that point it didn't. You weren't lying. You were starting to get a little tipsy on power, and it had been a hot minute since you'd used your quirk properly on someone. Just then Mr. Mienai paused and placed a finger to his ear. He looked like someone was talking in his ear, and then he looked at you and then your right pocket. Phone, now, he suddenly demanded. We have cameras in here. Who did you call? I don't know, you replied. Can't call anyone because you've blocked it. You didn't know he had blocked your number. It was a stab in the dark, but the second that he mentioned your phone, you immediately connected the dots. Of course, he admitted with a smirk. Bastard, you replied. I tried to call Sero. You lied. The call didn't go through. Of course it didn't, because he's being tortured in the other room. If you want to spare him, then tell the truth, Mr. Mienai lied. Did Hobi remove the earpiece from his ear and smash it? Answer me now. You have 3 seconds. 1. You could tell Mr. Mienai was bluffing. There was no way he was torturing Sero in the other room, and you knew the sudden counting was a way to force you to admitting things quickly. Why not count to 10? Or can't you count that far? You goaded Mr. Mienai. Suddenly the agent lunged at you, but you were ready and stepped to the side and then swung your arm up and jabbed your fingers into his throat, making him choke as you jumped back to keep your distance. He let out a cough and then turned towards you, but then the door suddenly swung open and a grey scarf was suddenly wrapped around you and him, holding you both at bay. Both of you, Aizawa's stern voice suddenly barked. Stop now. You looked in his direction and saw his eyes glowing red and his hair standing on end and knew that he meant business. Okay, you said quickly, but Sero, Hobi and I need help, you said to your teacher, still wrapped in his scarf. This mission is a trap. I'll talk to you later. Aizawa said sternly to you, your disappearance and new evidence of attack are against you right now. What? You asked with confusion. Hopefully you get what I was meaning by smart yin, smart ass yin combine. Ha, very clever. Stay tuned for the next chapter 87 coming tomorrow. See you then.